Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. Hi, Pete. How you doing? Shadow's in the other room right now, but he always appreciates when you say hi to him. Happy Thursday. How's it going? How's it going, everyone? I feel betrayed by my sweatpants. This is a strange statement, but I don't know what it is. I assume, good morning, cat, that sweatpants, especially fuzzy sweatpants, would keep my legs warm. So why are my knees and ankles freezing? I'm currently wrapped in a blankie. I have a quilt wrapped around me to hopefully put some goddamn warmth in my legs. And I hate it. So hopefully. Yeah. Like, I always assume the whole point of like fuzzy warm things is meant to help keep you fuzzy and warm. But it doesn't. It just makes you comfortable. But obviously not in a heat way. Which is garbage. Yeah. And I'm always disappointed. I feel like, I don't know, I only own so many warm, like, clothing bottoms. You know what I mean? Like, I have, like, maybe 2 pairs of, like, thicker leggings, 3 pairs. And if they're all in the wash, like, I'm fucked. I'm like, that's cool. My legs are just gonna freeze to death. It's fine. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Hopefully we get to finish this. That's true. I have done that in the past. I've done that under jeans, but I think you're right. I think I need to pair the thin leggings under the fuzzy sweatpants, and then that will create enough thickness to not make my legs so cold. But we're going to do the warm blankie thing first. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow will be better. So, I think we might actually finish this bad boy today. And hopefully, again, it doesn't really matter. I'm saying hopefully we can turn it into a cheese plant, a monstera, a something philodendron, whatever it's called. But if it just looks like a cool ass leaf, I guess that's, we can't complain. So we're gonna, so that's squeaky as hell. Okay, let's suit up, okay? Let's do this. This is what she looks like. She looks fluffy, fuzzy. I was trying to figure out if there's a way maybe I could like take sewing thread and like thread the back of this maybe to help close up this hole we made. But I'm not sure. So I don't want to mess with it too much. And we'll just see what happens. But you're feeling tired and burnt out today, Pete. That's a shame. Are you sleeping okay? Are you having trouble sleeping? Is that what's going on? I am, aside from being cold from the waist down, I'm doing well. I've recently discovered the joy of the 2+ hour YouTube deep dive about random early 2000s TV, and these have come across my recommended feed multiple times, but I've never really sat down and really indulged. But yesterday I binged all 3 videos of Mike's unhinged recap of Pretty Little Liars, which is a show that I never finished. I started watching it and then I kind of lost the plot and didn't care. And this is also me watching it a good decade after it came out. When I first moved here, going on 6 years, and I was bored because I didn't have a job and Liam was working all day and I didn't know what to do with myself, I used to binge Netflix. And that was one of the shows I started binging, and then like I said, I just kind of lost the plot of it. But yeah, so I watched this recap that I think probably in total caused me to waste 6 to 7 years of my life, but it was well worth it. I thoroughly enjoyed it because I feel like I am also the type of person who gets like low-key obsessed with the idiosyncrasies of obscure 2000s stuff. And so I really appreciate the craft and attention to detail when someone else decides to go unhinged flowchart about a random beloved 2000s property. So now I'm watching Jenny Nicholson's recap of The Vampire Diaries, which is another show I never watched. But I like I don't know, I feel like even though I've not watched these shows, obviously I was a person in the 2010s, and so these things permeated my culture, even though I wasn't actively engaging in them. So it's been a ride. You're not sleeping properly? That's a shame, Pete. That's frustrating. Fingers and toes crossed that, you know, it can get a bit better. I don't want to go out because it depends, right? Because there's lots of things I know when I can't sleep well that I try to do or what I've been taught, and whether or not that works for you or other things, you know what I mean? So it's the stop drinking caffeine after 4 p.m. Apparently you're not meant to go on your phone or like do social media in the last hour before bed. That's meant to help. I am bad at doing that one, but that might be an option. Writing down all your thoughts if your mind is racing and you're unable to sort of sleep because of that. I don't know. Doing some light reading until you get sleepy. There's a few different things. It's called like sleep hygiene. If you Google sleep hygiene. Yes. So I did. I watched Mike's unhinged recap of Pretty Little Liars. Because I've not watched Pretty Little Liars, or I did, but I never finished it, and I didn't watch it when it was originally airing, but I love unhinged recaps of 2000 shit, because that is my vibe. And so now I'm watching Jenny Nicholson's recap of The Vampire Diaries. Yeah, I think, because it's in 3 parts. And so I binged them all yesterday. It was about probably 6 to 7 hours of my life, but I don't regret it. Yeah, I saw he has a Glee one, and I think I saw he has a Gossip Girl one. So I think when I finish the Jenny Nicholson one, that's what's happening. You should link that other one because I also need to watch that. Yeah, definitely. I should post them in. Maybe I'll post them on the 2000s Discord section, and then I can send those to you. Post those because I do feel like they're required viewing for everyone if they would like to go on a journey. Let me go back and find them. But yeah, but aside from that, because you know what had happened is you did watch all the Vampire Diaries. Yeah, it sounds like a mess. I'm not finished the oh, he talks about Pretty Little Liars Original Sin as well. Oh, that's gonna be an adventure. Okay, let me... Sharing is caring, friends. Where's just the copy link button? Right here. There we go. Let us paste this one. And then also this one, which I have not finished yet, but I will be finishing probably tonight or tomorrow. Paste. There we go. Really? You remember from Temu? I've never heard of Temu before. Okay, watch hers after your stream. Yeah, don't watch it until I finish it. Yeah, good afternoon, Saul. How you doing? Yeah, Pete, I know, I feel like I was kind of just talking out of my ass there, but if those things are helpful, even just like Googling sleep hygiene tips, that might give you some other ones, right? Don't go on the website, you'll buy things you don't need. Oh no. So what kind of stuff have you procured? Hi, Aurora! Hello. How's everyone doing? I'm just talking about how I successfully spent, well, it's not crap advice, how I successfully spent probably 67 hours of my life watching Mike do an unhinged recap of the Vampire Pretty Little Liars, and I enjoyed every minute of it. But that was in between me working on my nostalgia stuff, which I got into a bit of a low morale situation because I guess, and to be fair, it made sense because I was trying to access, I had time-stamped all my stab videos, not all of them, but enough for me to be like, this is fine. So then I was going to start editing them, but it was taking like a million years for the videos to be uploaded into the filing software. And then we realized, or Liam explained to me, because he's Mr. IT tech wizard, that because the files were on a cloud box and I'm using Wi-Fi on my laptop, when I was trying to pull the stuff from the cloud box into the software, it was going from the cloud box, which is right over here, downstairs to the internet modem, and then flying over here to the laptop. And it was a 3-hour file it was trying to upload. So it was taking its sweet time and it wasn't working, and I was getting frustrated because I was like, I'm literally just clipping like 3 seconds of video from this 3-hour thing, and I need to do like a bunch of them, and this is gonna waste my life. But luckily Liam came home and he set me up on his massive giant CPU encrusted overdrive of a PC, and I was able to get them all edited last night. So that was good. But like I said, I couldn't do anything because everything was taking a million years to upload. So that's why I watched unhinged 2000s TV show recaps instead. And you know, sometimes we gotta take breaks and do things like that. And it was good because now all that's done, and so I've uploaded. So officially, the stabby section of the year in review video is done. So the only part left now is to go back in and find some shadow parts. And then it's done. So we're slowly getting there. And I was hoping to get it done before my Canva Premium expires on the Saturday. And I didn't think it was going to happen, but now I think it might happen. So we shall see. So yeah, I had a bit of an emotional roller coaster yesterday. I didn't cry though. I didn't like get myself so worked up. I was more just like annoyed. And then, you know, IT superhero Leon came home from work and saved the day. So it was fine. I got 4 foldable storage bins, 21 PC cat. Ooh, cat tarot sticker set. That sounds incredible. And Bernie says a little crossbody bag, a clipper with a mystery dinosaur image on it. Love. A hanging cup for my nightstand for my phone. Some strips of paper to make those little origami stars. Why? Who knows? Too much bags to fit it all. A tiny trash can, a long sleeve plush jacket thing, silicone elastic covers for leftovers or whatever, 4 cable clips, 6 cord wrap holders that stick to your appliances. Oh dear God, Kat, you are saying this store sounds like it has everything. You managed to get like clothes and craft kits and like stuff for your house and everything. That's wild. That's incredible. It does. Yeah, I won't. I've already forgotten the name of the store for my own good. But yeah, so things are happening. Things are happening. Oh, guys, also super, super fun that I forgot to tell you on Tuesday is I finally got my shit together and also created a ! Lurk message. So now when you guys lurk, and I always say every time you guys go to ! Lurk, and I go, damn, I really should make a lurk message. I did it this time. So it's ! Lurk when you're lurking, and then ! Back when you've come back, and then the back message will also happen. There we go. Look at that. Look at me being semi-professional streamer. It only took me like so many months of talking about it to make it happen. But it did. I finally, you know what it was? I did it while I was sitting there watching all of my my stab videos. So there we go. Well demonstrated. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you for actioning it. I appreciate that. Seeing my hard work in the wild. And by hard work, I mean quick Google search to remember how to make people's names show up in messages. But yeah. So things are happening. I I am. Yeah, I know, right? Slack-a-lackin'. I'm off with the fairies. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know. Clearly you guys already know how to do my job, so I just need to, like, sit here and lurk and hang out, you know? And you guys will entertain yourselves. It seems like a win-win situation. Haha. But, I see, it's in, you know, Pete, you might not have slept well, but you're still on fine form in terms of the humor. So that's good. I'm gonna do nothing at work because they're gonna cover me next week. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. You're like, I'm just gonna supervise you doing my job, but not actually doing the job because you have to learn. Soak up the towel jokes, guys. Okay, cool. It's the inevitable funny duo. I love it. I love it. There we go. All right. Speaking of, you know how I was joking about how I've become a mom and how she, like, thinks she's really funny and he'll write her own jokes on the internet and then just giggle to herself? I'll have to ask her if she was laughing, because I'd posted a picture of this and talked about this cheese plant, and she was like, a cheese plant, ? That's weird. Do you milk it? ? And I'm like, she's laughing to herself right now. She's laughing right now at that joke. I should have been like, yeah, Mom, it's a new alternative milk option. Cheese plant milk. I'm so tired being your friend. Oh no. Are you still having, are shenanigans still afoot? Are you still trying to be everything for everyone? Because your friends are all going through it. That sucks, Saul. You gotta find things that fuel you as well. I'm sure you didn't sleep. See, because Pete didn't sleep very well, and I assume you didn't sleep very well either, due to being emotionally burnt out from your friends' emotional situations. Yeah. That sucks. It's true, yeah. And it is hard because you're trying to be there for somebody, and also, too, you have to know that you have limits to what you can provide. And also, I think we said last time, you can't pour from an empty cup. So if you are burnt out, it makes it harder for you to be there for the person who needs you if you don't take time for yourself. But also, if you need somebody to talk to, you can always talk to me about it. And that might help. You know, if unleashing the burden of what you are burdening, you know, if you wanna chuck that my way, I will be of assistance. But yeah, I know the idea of trying to take a step back is easier said than done. Okay. I think now we're going through and filling in. Oh no, we gotta fill this guy in. And then we're gonna go around. And then hope. Actually, I feel like we might need to fill this little gap in too. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, right? I'm like, we try to bring a little joy and sunshine into your life. Cause I know you are, you know, brightest sun in the world. Saul, your name is literally the sun. You are owner, purveyor, and keeper of the bright side. But, you know, if your light dims a little because it's cloudy and foggy and the light is having a hard time getting through, you gotta call up one of us, and we're gonna get a big-ass fan, and we're gonna blow away all of the fog and the bullshit so that your sun can shine bright once again. We got you. We are the winds of change and positivity. Exactly. You know, we also cool you off if you're getting a bit too hot by being in your own sunshine. Hey man, yin and yang, light and dark. We need that. We need that here. Your humor's not been too dark on this channel, Pete, so I think you're behaving yourself, which is very good. Because you're bringing the humor. Oh, speaking of dark humor, I was listening to a musical soundtrack while I was walking Shadow today. I was re-listening to the Heathers musical soundtrack. Heathers being the musical based on the 80s dark comedy cult classic starring Christian Slater and perfection Winona Ryder. And it reminded me that I really do need to rewatch the movie again. Because it's so good. And that's dark. You have to have a dark sense of humor in order to not find that movie very distasteful. And I think it's great. Let's see how long it takes for my hands to get sore from this again. I'm trying again. This is so bad. Like, this is like non-existent tension anymore. So we're trying to make artificial tension by just pushing up against the outline and hoping for the best. So guys, officially, I'm hoping we can finish the cheese plant today. We'll see. Because I feel like we worked on this dark green color over the course of Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday. And that took the entire stream. And this is more coverage. So I'm optimistic. If we don't finish it tomorrow, we're finishing it by the end of the week. As in by tomorrow. But yeah. And then we're going to be starting our last craft kit, which is an embroidery kit. So we'll either be doing that on Friday or we'll be doing that the following Friday. Because I am still scheming, potentially figuring out that next Tuesday we might try. Yeah, unless I'm not interrupted by unlimited karaoke. That's true. That's true. But that is a welcomed distraction to the stabbage. It was really funny because I saw I know we've been talking about the tea party, and I saw that you shouted me out on your stream. Was it on the Tuesday? And I was like, I bet he's talking about how I butchered Miss Kylie Minogue. I was like, uh-oh. I thought maybe I'd have to stop by and defend my honor, but I didn't have time. But, yeah. No. So like I said, guys, officially a week from today, we will be tea partying it up. I'm already planning to. I'm going to make Shadow his own little tea party set as well, because we have this, like, I don't know, like doggy safe milk that we got him. So I figured I could stick that in like a tea mug that's big enough for him to stick his snout in. And he has little biscuits, and I can put little peanut butters on it and like little bits of chicken and stuff for him and make himself his own little tea party plate. So and then he's going to be dressed up in a bow tie. So we are both going to be in full celebratory form. I'm hoping that'll also distract him from trying to eat the treats we have on the table for myself the whole time. I just hyping. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, I assumed you were all in good faith, but I was like, he might also be talking shit. Just kidding. Okay. This looks very tight, so I think we're doing some of these sections individually. Ooh, Pete would like an oracle card. Let me get those out in just a second. Yeah, I don't know what... I think it's like a goat milk. I don't know. It's meant to be, because excessive amounts of dairy are meant to be bad for dogs. So this particular milk, allegedly, is meant to be better or easy for him to digest. So we will see how it goes. All right, let us move this shiz out of the way. Pop this. Actually, I can probably just turn it this way. That might make it easier. Okay. Phantasma says hi. She is the keeper of the oracle cards. So she sits on them on my desk when they're not being used. Feels appropriate. Okay. So you guys know the deal. We're going to shuffle the deck. I'm going to make 3 piles. You will pick from pile 1, 2, or 3. And then occasionally the cheese fairy from the dog. Yeah. That's really sweet. Honestly, we are, as long as we know it's okay for them to have in small quantities, we're quite suckers when it comes to giving Shadow human food. Liam is worse than I am. And my in-laws are even worse than we are. They definitely treat him like a grand doggy, you know? You know, grandparents spoil their grandkids. They do that with 4-legged grandkids as well. But yeah, we do sharesies. Sometimes I'll have cheese and crackers as a snack, and so I'll give him a little piece and we share. But yes, usually he has most of his own food. Okay. The card has been shuffled. We are doing number 1, number 2, and number 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pete, which pile would you like for today's Wisdom of the Trees? Numero uno, s'il vous please. All right. Ooh, the giant redwood. You can see a tiny little deer in there as well. The giant redwood. Let us look up what this means for you going into the rest of the day. Okay. Number 73. I want to go see. Yeah, that would be cool. What's so red about it? Okay, the giant redwood, Majesty. Ooh, you might like this. You might like this. I didn't want to branch out to a higher number. Which is funny because it's actually the last card in the book. So even though you picked number 1 in terms of the number, like page numbers, it is the last card in the deck. So anyway, what does it say? It says, do not underestimate yourself. You hear that, Pete? Do not underestimate yourself, either in terms of your natural abilities or your unique personality. You have so much to offer the world that there is no need to feel inadequate or to lack self-confidence. Let me show you the way. You hear that, Pete? The universe is giving you a pep talk and telling you that you are awesome and you don't need to doubt yourself, and the world will accept you for who you are because you are awesome. And that is what the redwood is trying to tell you. Shall we learn more about the redwood while we are at it? You know what? This card goes out to everyone, because I know all of you be second guessing yourselves. So this is not only for Pete, this is for all of you. Let's read it again. Let's read it again. Really soak in these words. Do not underestimate yourself, either in terms of your natural abilities or your unique personality. You have so much to offer the world that there is no need to feel inadequate or to lack self-confidence. Well read, Tash. Should we learn more about the redwood? The giant redwood is one of the most splendid trees in the arboreal kingdom and is particularly noted for its immense girth and longevity. Wow. With some giant redwoods thought to be at least 2,000 years old. The groves in which the giant redwoods grow in California were once the province of Native Americans who would undoubtedly have revered the trees, although details of their mythological significance have now been lost. The trees were an important source of medicine, and today the United Huma Nation of Louisiana uses infusions of their inner bark to treat jaundice. Daily mantra to herself, yeah, yeah, right? We are all secretly have the humor of 12-year-old boys. Yeah, you caught that word too, didn't you, Kat? Girth. Cool, I didn't realize, so these are in California. It bears long cones. I think a friend of the channel, Potatoes from California. I wonder if she's seen giant redwoods before. There you go. The trees have spoken, and they are saying, you are awesome. There you go. Phantasma will go back to her guarding of the trees duty. Haha, I said duty. Yes, there's none. Oh, that's awesome. That would be cool. I like that. I would want to go. We'd probably just call them trees. You don't know. You don't know. Maybe Patats is secretly like all up into like arboretum facts, you know? You don't know. Maybe she's an unofficial tree expert. The tree has spoken. Branch out and leave your mark. Haha, exactly. Exactly. Leave your mark on the world. Only if they're Korean trees. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Only if they're BTS stan trees. Okay. I feel like a lot more of these are gonna end up staying connected than I want them to. Because I feel like I'm gonna put holes in the fabric if we stay too close. Okay. There we go. Okay. Put some elbow grease into it. I'm just gonna try to weave back and forth as opposed to going into a circle because I think that that will yield better results for us in the long run. I say that as I don't know if this is working. There we go. Yeah, this is gonna make a hole. I know, you know what I mean? When I say hole, I mean like bigger than the desired punch hole. Because it's like, obviously, duh, Tash, you're making holes when you needle punch because that's literally how you make the thing. But when I freak out about the holes that I'm making, I assume I'm ripping all of the fabric out and making this monstrosity here. Just in case you're like, duh, Tash. That's the point of this project, is to make holes. Okay. This needs to firm up. Trying to think what else happened over the last couple of days. Took Shadow to the forest yesterday. That was fun. We definitely got our walkies in. So that's, see again, so you know how I was like, I was totally unproductive and just like binge watch deep dives of TV shows? I went for a massive hike before that. So I think that expunges me from any other unproductive things that I got up to. There were these two little, like, fluffy dogs. Shadow was in a mood. He wasn't interested in hanging out with other dogs. He was too busy smelling the smells. We hadn't been to the forest in a while, so he was like, I'm busy smelling smells, taking my sweet ass time, and any dogs that approach me, like, I don't actually want to hang out with you, I'm just smelling the smells. So these two little floofs, we were walking in like a circuit around the field, and he kept stopping, and then these dogs kept poodling over and like wanting to play with him, and he was like, no, so he would like trot away a bit further. And then at one point we rounded a corner where we were close to these like football fields within a field, and then he then got the rips, and so he took off zooming, and these two little dogs zoomed after him, and like obviously they were far away from him because, you know, they were closing the gap and stuff, but these two little floofs were keeping up to the point where Shadow, you could tell he didn't want to run anymore, but like they were persistent. I think they were like little puppies and they just wanted to keep going. And he was kind of like, I don't want to run anymore, guys. And the dogs were like, let me at him. And he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. So when that happens, he usually just has to run far enough away so that the dogs will get called back by their owners and then they like can continue what they're doing. But I think it's so funny because there's like a little calf at the end of this field, and a lot of like locals hang out there, and a lot of them are like a little bit older and stuff, and they're kind of a bit more old school as well. And so a lot of them, they'll see him and they're like, oh, he's like a lurcher, he's a greyhound, he's like a hunting dog, right? Like, oh, you know, be careful around the squirrels and rabbits, I'm sure he'll get a taste for them, and he's, you know, a real troublemaker. And I'm like, he literally doesn't do that. Ooh, did this pop out? What happened here? I like skipped a spot. We're gonna pull these out and just try again because that was weird. Anyway, but yeah, so I think what happens is they see him and they're like, oh, he must, you know, be like a little terror. And I'm like, he's really not. And so I think it must have just been the most hilarious thing to watch the greyhound hunting sight dog be chased around the field by tiny little floofs. Like, I'm sure they're looking at it being like, this should be the opposite reality. And I'm like, no, Shadow's a big baby and will run away from anything, even if it is tiny. In fact, probably if it's tinier, he's more apt to run away from them. Because he's like, I don't want to be near this little annoying floofy thing. He thinks they're more just like, yeah, he doesn't see them as food. He sees them as a pain in the butt. But yeah. Honestly, right? Exactly. That would be my natural thing as well. My natural instinct is if some tiny fluffy thing is barreling towards me at warp speed, I too would like to run away from it. But he did pout at me today because we went for our like regular walk, and this is the walk that it's the slightly longer one, and it goes past the field near the university, and we always walk on the other side of it. And he definitely stops and is like, big open space, can we go run in it? And I'm like, no, not today, dude. He's like, that doesn't make any sense to me. There's a field and I like to run, ergo we should go to the field so I can run. And I'm like, nah, dude, we're just going for a regular ass walk. And so then I have to take him and pull him, drag his ass up the street so that we actually get past the field and can continue on our way home. But I promised him we'd go tomorrow, so he will get to go to the field. He just, you know, he's definitely, I feel like, you know, when you hear about kids that enter their like terrible twos, I feel like that's what's happening with him as well. I know dog time, and I'm definitely anthropomorphizing him, but, you know, I am one of those psycho dog parents now, and that's just the way I'm gonna live my life. So yeah, I definitely feel like Shadow has entered the terrible two stage of his life, despite the fact that time works differently for dogs. Because he is much more grumpy and stubborn than he used to be. On days when he's tired, though, he's much more agreeable. hope that we're not making too much of a mess. And I feel like these are too small, so we're gonna leave that here. Let's see how this is going, because I'm a little bit, yeah, I guess so. I guess it's looking cheese plant-esque. But yeah, you can see how this whole section here is just a hole. And these little floofs are holding on to nothing. They're holding on for dear life. Oh, that's amazing. I know how to pop chat out. I never knew that there was a pop out video option. That's cool. But yeah, these little loops are holding on for dear life, and we're just gonna leave them be. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. I know, I do think that's the thing. I'm trying to figure out if there's, like, if it is just as simple as me just almost, like, gluing everything to keep it secure, like covering chunks of it in glue, or if I should try to, like, sew the fibers together with some, like, thin wire, like, thread, and just see, like, just on the back of it to see if that helps. But I'm also down for the just, like, pour glue everywhere and hope for the best approach. That feels like an option. But yeah, I guess we just keep going now. Because the other thing too, right, is the edge of the wood is here, but the fabric, they almost really needed to staple it like here. Maybe some sticky back. Yeah. Possibly. If I just like, or we could be super jank and just like tape it. Just put a big, just, you know, like a band-aid, put a stripe of masking tape across it and be like, fixed it, good enough. I don't know. Okay, now we're reaching the part where I'm gonna hurt myself on this frame because it's so close to the... It's like this weird thing where I'm like trying to create tension but also trying to pull it away from the frame at the same time. Again, so that I don't hurt myself. There we go. Another fun thing that's happening, maybe on the anniversary or before the anniversary, we might get to 250 followers because we're at 246 right now. So that's an exciting installment in the progressing of and evolving of the Twitch channel. There we go. Oh, again, I feel like these are popping out. And they shouldn't be. And I think it's the tension's fault. But there's really nothing I can do about that. Because it wants you to stick this needle all the way through. But then this smacks on this. And then we can't make that happen. I don't know. Yeah, you're just gonna be of a shitty tension and I just need to accept it. else has ever done a needle punch kit, do they come pre-framed? Because that just seems like a bad idea. It doesn't seem like an effective way to do this. Like, it seemed fine when we were starting, but now that we're going on to these, like, external parts, I'm like, this doesn't seem ideal. We're slowly backing away from the frame, so that should hopefully help things. Let's see. Let's do a leaf check. So far, I'm unconvinced it's going to turn into an actual cheese plant by the end of this. I think these are all too close together. I think what I should have done, retrospectively, if we were to have done this project again, I would have just colored in the lines of the stencil. Do you know what I mean? Where, like, the stencil is etched out, and I think I was following, like, trying to almost, like, color on the lines. Whereas what I should have done is I should have punched slightly internal to the lines, and then I think there would have been more gaps in terms of the cheese plantness of it all. But again, though, like, I'm not mad about it. I just, you know, you look at what it looks like on the box versus what it looks like at IRL, and there's definitely, like, I'm just theorizing how would we get to look more like that, and I think that's what it is. But it's a leaf, guys. Who cares? There are some plants that, yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, it'll just be our version, and that's fine. We made it together, and that's what matters. It's about the journey, not the destination. We're just, you know, making fun stuff for fun. Liam's aunt is the one who gave this to me because she bought it for herself and then figured she wouldn't do it. And her birthday's coming up next month. Maybe I should just give this to her for her birthday. I should be like, hey, remember that kit that you gave me? I made it. Here you go. She might actually like it. I don't know. Oops. I think we just shoved pink into the green hole. Whoops. It's fine. We're just gonna cover it with glue and hope it all stays in place. So it'll be fine. Yay, glue, right? Exactly. When in doubt, cover the back in glue. I wonder if there's a way, probably not, because this has like tiny little like nails in it and stuff. But if there's a way for us to almost make the tension on this even tighter, because it's very loosey-goosey. That's fine. We will cross that bridge when we get there. It will also be interesting to figure out how many more, like once we outline this, like I assume we can't get very many more stitches in along these edges here. but we'll be filling kind of this whole thing in to the best of our ability. Starch, I don't know. Yeah, right? Who knows? So, like this, again, on the picture, they've very accurately been able to sort of keep the square formation. I'm very interested to see if we will be able to do the same. I don't know if it's gonna end up looking as square, just with like the tension giving out, and so I feel like we're sort of, you know, I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be an adventure. I'm just theorizing what other possible, I don't know, additional variations on the finished product we will make. And again, none of them bad. I'm just interested in what's going on. Just me making like grunting faces for 3 hours. You're welcome. I don't know. It's just me being aggro craft gremlin for 3 hours, trying to use brute force. Oh really? Oh, pops in briefly. Hi Kay, how's it going? Yeah, the pink is going not too bad. We're trying to see if it's going to create more of the cheese plant monster vibe. So far, I'm unconvinced, but you know, it's a leaf. That's all we can ask of it. That's amazing. Your home game design has gotten an upgrade. But yeah, how are things with you, Kay? How's everything going? We're outlining with the pink, and then we'll go in. You believe in you. I'm loving all of these nature puns, guys. You know, my main form of humor is cleverly timed puns. And if we're making them nature themed, that's like instant thumbs up from me. I love it. Urgh. Pun! Oh my god! There's a pun bond? Pun bomb. That's really cool. That's a clever emote. I like that. Will they just come to us naturally? Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. You guys are the best. I love it. Does everyone remember that song? The Selena Gomez song, Naturally? That song was a fucking bop. Back when Selena Gomez was still with the scene, back in her, like, kind of still Disney days, that was a bop, honestly. That and Love You Like a Love Song, bangers. I feel like Selena Gomez is quite underrated in terms of, like, the Disney to pop star pipeline. With the Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez. They tried to do some with a lot of other ones that were not successful. Those were like the 3 main besties who like made it happen. But yeah, Selena Gomez songs slap. Yeah, exactly. Love You Like a Love Song, incredible. Such a clever song. The video is really cool too. Those weird, yeah. I love that. I Love You Like a Love Song. Yeah. What a strange concoction of words. To read that and not know what you're referring to must be very confusing. But I'm like, I knew exactly what you meant. Yay, welcome back, Pete. Welcome back from your forest adventure. I hope you brought back snacks. We were just talking about underrated pop princess Selena Gomez, Pete, in case you have any thoughts. I don't know, man. You do you. A palm tree of, like, the alive variety? Why not, right? Fuck it. Life's too short to not have a palm tree in your house. One, is there room for it? And two, what are the conditions you need to take care of it? One found lemon drizzle cake. Ooh, ooh. That's excellent. All the little woodland creatures made decadent lemon drizzle for you. I love that. What an excellent find. The best find. Though some might be worried that, you know, you're taking gifts from fairies and that they could bewitch you with their trickstery ways. Right, yeah. Yeah, it depends on, like, the extent of what care would need for certain plants, and if you have the ability to facilitate that. My brother's girlfriend's quite a plant girl, and they have just, like, racks with, like, heat lamps and all those kinds of things, or some sort of outside court in the middle of the house. Oh, well, if it's home design 3D, then you have to make the most bougie-ass, fabulous house ever, and that means palm trees. I really just don't think yeah. Yeah, there's certain fictionalized houses that I'm like, I would like to live in that one, please. That's a good one. The Encanto house is really nice. I'm trying to think what other nice houses from fictional places that I would live in. Now, should we have tried to put a line? See, there's no room. There is no room to do that. So I don't know if it's gonna happen. Strange predicament. Again, it doesn't matter, but I'm just like, wow, we got a chonky cheese plant. Because again, I assume it wants us to go in here, but I don't think there's any room. We can add some pink sort of like in this area, maybe? My favorite house ever was the Monsanto house at Disneyland. It's ridiculous. I would hate living. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like sometimes it's like the vibe is awesome, but it's like maybe the practicality of it would not work. But hey, man, life is just a fantasy. Can you live this fantasy life? Don't ask me to name that song. I just know it's one that my parents like to quote all the time. See, again, this should be going down here, but I don't think there's enough room to make it happen. So we're just going to ignore that, and then we'll go in and add the individual little pink accents maybe in here and be like, see guys, we tried. We can try to do it with this one because this seems like there's a bit more space, and so that seems doable to me, but I don't know. I don't know. Again, though, I'm nervous we're gonna make a massive hole. This kind of worked. Oh, I hate when that happens. Excuse me. I'm just gonna poke you that through here and pretend like nothing happened. Yeah, that looks frayed and silly, but it's fine. I'm just ignoring that. That kind of worked. Anyway, onwards and upwards, friends. Yeah, this is gonna stab me. This is very precarious. Like, look how, I don't know if you can tell, but this is like, look at this. This is sliver inducing. Like, what? What is this? It's shoddy workmanship, is what it is. It's not good, right? I'm like, that is not okay. Boo, boo, boo. Yeah, definitely. I have that baby sandpaper from the miniature kit that I should maybe... I'm just gonna pull it off and hope I don't splinter myself. We're just living dangerously. Yeah, this... Yeah, the craft kit was like, oh, you're stabbing me? I'm gonna try to stab you back. And I'm like, not today. Now this, I don't know how we're gonna... We're just, I don't know. I just think the tension's gonna be weird because we can't push this all the way in because there's a giant piece of wood in the way. Oh, that's fine. See, it doesn't help too that as we're stabbing this into here, we're then also deteriorating the frame. It's fine. I assume this is as far as we're gonna be able to go in terms of this. Yeah, this is different and it's because of the tension problem. Again, there's nothing we can do about it. So we're just gonna continue like it's normal. I think what I'm gonna do actually is just torture myself by punching down this whole thing just to sort of be like, this is the end. This is as far as we can go. We will not be able to stab any further. I just had a thought. Worst case. Yeah. What, you had a worst case thought? What's the worst case? Are you saying this is the worst case? Because it is not enjoyable. It's fine though. We're just, yeah. Did you possibly remove it from the canvas completely? Yes, maybe. Like do surgery on it. That is an option. Yeah. The only thing was then we need to figure out how to frame it afterwards, which I guess wouldn't be the end of the world. Yeah. Ooh, we can kind of pull at this. Yeah, no, it's not adjustable in any way. I wonder. Ooh. Oh, I don't know if these are going to be strong enough. Because I'm able to pull this. I can like sort of slide it. I don't know, because I have these magnets. They probably are not strong enough to go through wood. But let's see. Because if we can artificially... Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I guess I could maybe... Oop. That's very janky. And it doesn't solve the problem really, because I'm just gonna stab down and that's gonna pop off. So that's not an option. Yeah. Yeah, I think the thing too with this is it depends how much slack is on the frame. Because if there's enough slack, then I don't think it would be that big of a problem. But if there's like really not a lot to then wrap over the hoop, then I don't know. Yeah, I am not sure. I guess we just, yeah, the option is take it apart or struggle through it. I don't know. We're on the home stretch, so I'm kind of tempted to just struggle through it, but I don't know. Because the other thing too with this is, yeah, I don't know. Because the other option too is we do take this apart and then there's like nothing to really hold on to it, and then we're fucked. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's like the last resort for sure. For sure. I think when we're not, like, I'm hoping that this, like, this part is painful. Aww, that sucks, Saul. Situation your friend is resolved, but it's complicated on your end. That sucks. So the resolve probably is, yeah, not fun in your favor. But yeah, definitely. But we are here for you. If you decide you want to go, cool. But if not, you know, you're always welcome here. This is your safe space. A place for you to decompress. And again, like I said, you can always message me later if you need to decompress more specifically later. And just know that we're all here for you. And I know that if any decisions that are made that impact you, I know you wouldn't take them lightly. So you are doing what's best for yourself and for your friend, even if the situation's been taken out of your hands. And who knows, right? This could maybe not be the forever resolution. It could just be the temporary resolution. And then once you know what I mean? Like this might not be a forever circumstance, right? It's resolved, maybe not in the best way, but maybe it won't be forever. Whoa. Yeah, I'm just, I feel like I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm just like, oh, let's just stab the canvas at an angle and hope for the best. Yeah, what are we even doing? What even is this? We also need to move this in order to keep going. I don't know what I am doing. Ugh. Some of them sort of... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And we have said that before, that, you ride or die for the people you love, but you got to give that same compassion to yourself. But it's hard, See, now there's this part of the frame poking out, so I'm like, shit, are we like, maybe this was always here and I'm just noticing it now. I'm gonna sneeze as well. Yeah. You don't necessarily, again, not, being as explicit or not explicit as it wants. Are you feeling like you kind of got the shit end of the deal? Or like that, of all this stuff, like you've put a lot of effort into a situation and you kind of feel like, oh shit, like, this ended in a way that sort of is like you put all this effort in for what? Or is this something different, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. What we're trying to do is basically create the outline of the frame, because this is the part that sucks the most. And then if we do that, then I think it'll make this easier. So we're sort of making like a real janky outline of the limits of the frame. And then I think that will help. Hopefully. That's what I'm telling myself. Putting myself through short-term annoyance for long-term gain. Hopefully. And hope that we don't break the frame in the process by pushing this into it constantly. I guess we can just make the executive decision to turn. Yeah. Jeez. Aside from like taking on the friendship burden, like isn't like your friendship, like your friends' struggles, is there anything else that's negatively impacted you, like in the escalation of the situation? You know what I mean? Because I know as well some of the things that really piss you off is when people come for your community and the safe space that you've created for other people. So I hope that this situation hasn't caused an infiltration of bullshit in the safe spaces you've curated. You know what I mean? Because that wouldn't be good. Okay. We're just punching the wood. No, nothing really. Yeah, far from it. Right. Yeah. Right, so this has brought up stuff within yourself. That sucks. That's frustrating. Yeah. No, that's hard. Definitely sending you all the love and support. Ugh. Because we all think you're amazing, you know? Everybody has stuff that's going on or things that... Remember, maybe you need the giant redwood support as well. What did it say? You are amazing. Do not doubt yourself. You are awesome. That's all information we need today. We all should be heeding the advice of the giant redwood. What's so red about it? I don't know. I do find, though, like, red... It's more of like, you know when we took that color quiz, I think it's more of like a burnt umber sort of color, you know what I mean? I wouldn't necessarily call it red in the traditional sense. It's more of like a... Yeah. Crimson something or other, you know what I mean? I missed hug time. I was in the kitchen. Group hug. I love it. Kat's like, I missed the group hug. It's all right. You're still included. You're still included. Honestly, she's like, I will be involved in the group hug. That's exactly what I do when I hug. It's very tackly. Yeah. Those are the best kind, though. You know? The ones that... Because they just feel like they're full of, like, aggressive joy. You know what I mean? Like, I want to give you so much affection that I'm being, you know, aggro about it. But I don't know which one. Yeah. I love it. Tackle hug. Slide hug. Slide tackle. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to do the bottom half of this nonsense in terms of the outline, and then we'll go back in and finish the other stuff. If you want, Saul, I don't know if this is gonna help, because I can sing you a silly song for free. You know, no points. If you would like to request a make Saul feel better, Tasha sing something ridiculous, if that would help, I will also do that for you. Because I'm like, how can I assist? I can stab things and talk about anything and everything. I can sing you a silly song. Or I can sing you a song about friendship and, you know, love and how awesome you are. The witch doctor. Yeah. Ugh. Let's do that. Wonder if there's the Chipmunks version. That's a good one. Or the Rugrats version. They both do them. Let's do that. Let me just get to this point. Oh, I'm making a big hole. Let me just get out of that danger zone. Okay. When we think we have gotten to the safe space of this, we will perform the Make Saul Feel Better song. AKA the Witch Doctor. It'll also help me get out of my craft gremlin state for a minute. Okay, let's also just see what the hell. Okay, the tension is all over the place. She's all over the place. She's a mess, you guys. She's a mess, but we love her anyway. Okay. Okay. Whew. Pop this to the side. Not hurting, breaking anything in the process. Put this here. That is very precarious. It's fine. Whew. I've finally warmed up now, guys. You know how I started with like the coldest legs of life? Clearly stabbing canvas has warmed me up. Okay. Let us find the Make Saul Feel Better song. It's not gonna instantly cure, but it might help. It might help distract from the troubles of the mind, and that's all we can really do sometimes. Let's find it. The cartoons Witch Doctor. Is that what it's from? Is this the song? I'm not sure. Who originally sings the Witch Doctor? Is it actually called, the band actually called the cartoons? Because that would be wild. We must Google to confirm. Let's Google to confirm. The Witch Doctor song. Who sings it? It is by a band called The Cartoons. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. That makes it even better. Okay. Let us. Yeah. Because not only did the Chipmunks perform it, the Rugrats performed it as well. Or I think the Monkeys did. The Monkeys in the Jungle of the Rugrats movie. Do you guys remember that? Or was this just a fever dream? It also could have been a fever dream. I just remember it being so intense when Tommy Pickles is so mad at Dill that he takes his nanner food and he's like, "You want the nanners?" And it's like thunder and lightning and he's like spilling the banana baby food and Dill is crying and it's like absolutely gut-wrenchingly dark for a children's TV movie. Or not even TV, just a children's movie. Ridiculous. But yeah, the Chipmunks version too. I know that. We actually had I say we did. I think I still have it downstairs. We have like a Chipmunks cassette that has the Chipmunks. To be fair, the Witch Doctor is probably on that cassette. Probably is. I bet you guys it's probably there. You know both versions, right? Yeah, exactly. Well, you're going to have a third version to know now. Let's see. Hello. Oh, wow, I've been slouching this entire time, haven't I? All right, this is Saul's "We're Sorry You're Having a Hard Time" Feel Better song. Oh, hello. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what this... Hey, Witch Doctor, give us the magic words.
All right. You go ooh, 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 ah, ah. Tang tang, walla walla bang bang.
All right. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. I told the witch doctor I was in love with you. And then the witch doctor, he told me what to do. He said, ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Are you shitting on my chair dancing, Aurora? It's true. It's a mess. I told the witch doctor you didn't love me true. I told the witch doctor you didn't love me nice. And then the witch doctor, he gave me this advice. He said, ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bing bang. It's an instrumental break, guys. You can keep me your love from me just like you were a miser. And I'll admit I wasn't very smart. So I went out to find myself a guy that's so much wiser. And he told me the way to win your heart. Ooh ah ah ting tang. Ooh ah ah. Ooh ah ah. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Come on in. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. Ooh ah ah ting tang walla walla bang bang. I didn't know there were more words to that song than that. Wow. Whew. I'm warm now. That was fun. That's cool. There was that whole like bridge about like, I don't even know what it was. But oh well, we learnt it. That was so silly. I hope that helped. I hoped my rhythmically timed, chaotic jazz hands brought a smile to your face. Did it bring a soul to Smile's face? Let's find out. Drum roll, please. The jury's out. What do we think? How does he feel? That's all we can ask. That's all we can ask. Temporary. Yeah, if I can, you know, just some lighthearted shenanigans. That's all we need sometimes, right? There you go. Thank you for such a high octane a high octane suggestion. That was your karaoke freebie. Now you gotta pay up if you want any more. Whew, now I'm warm. Okay. Shadow's like, what the fuck is going on in there? Okay. Back to punching. It's good. It gave, you know what it was? I was shaking out the fact that like my arms were after that dream on. Right? Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, no, it gave me an opportunity to like shake out my wrists, you know? Workout done. Exactly, right? Keep me fit, guys. It's my, guys, this is Tasha's tried and true workout technique. Just sing songs and flail your arms about. Cardio. You're welcome. Tasha's hot tips and tricks. Whew. Also doesn't probably help that the radiator's right behind me, you know? That probably also impacts the situation. Ugh. I could probably open the door and let some air flow in. Okay. Oh, it's very quiet in here. Let's turn back the pretzel. Let's turn the pretzels back on. Oh, and turn this down or else this is going to blast in our ear holes and we're not going to like that. There we go. Much better. All right. So now we're going to focus on filling in this quadrant, I guess. What happened here? It's fine. We'll just... Yeah, we're back to bullshit amounts of tension. And by bullshit, I mean non-existent. But it's fine. I feel like this almost feels like part of the experience now. I'm committed to seeing this through to the end. I feel like sometimes I can be stubborn in that regard. Like sometimes people will present things to me and be like, why don't you do this thing this way easier? And I'm like, but I've already done 95% of the task in this really difficult bullshit way that I almost as a sense of pride need to finish it doing the dumb way, you know? That's a toxic trait of mine. But no, I think this is fine. It's okay. Same, right? Exactly. It's like, this is the way I've been doing this the entire time. I need to finish it this way. And they're like, you know, there's an easier way to do this. And I'm like, that is not true. You're like, don't tell me that now, because I've already gotten into the flow of the bullshit way. So I'm going to continue. We're getting back into the area that we've made a major hole in, though. So we gotta be careful. I think we're being careful, though. I hope we're far enough away from the massive hole in the center here. I say center, this is off center. But okay. Yeah. You need to almost put like little protectors on these edges here. Nope. Go. Okay. So this, I think we can still fit another hole in, maybe. I'm gonna try. This seems alright. Okay. So now we have sectioned this into 2 quadrants because that gap has been filled. And now we can just continue in our circular formation in this section. Maybe. Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely like the forearm strength is necessary for sure. That, and anytime I push this down and it like, this here, I have to arrange how I'm holding it or else my finger, I feel like it has a bit of impact. But yeah, this definitely is a lot more upper arm inducing strength-wise than I thought should be needed for a craft. But, yeah. It's this weird thing where it's like, you're holding this very daintily, but then, yeah, every once in a while, you, like, have to activate your forearm strength. And it seems like a lot. I wonder if there's, like, a technique of, like, depositing this in more effectively, because I'm going straight down, and I wonder if, like, because I noticed sometimes if I go at a bit of an angle, it goes into the fabric a little bit easier. So maybe there's, like, a finesse, you know, to getting it to not be, like, there's still tension, obviously, and it's still effort, but, like, less effort would be the ultimate goal. Because people who do this all the time, like, how are they not having to wear, like, wrist braces all the time? Like, I know the chance of me getting, like, repetitive strain injury from cross-stitching is probably very high, but at least I'm not, like, straining my forearm the whole time, too. I don't know. In terms of all of the kits we have done, this one has been the most physically demanding so far. That is canonically confirmed. Okay, we just need to like pull this a bit. Yeah, exactly. Like, how is this? How? I need another arm. One to hold the tension on this, one to hold this up, and one to stab. Maybe too, like, if you get into this, maybe there's like, because I think there's different sizes of needles. Yeah, honestly. I'm like, can you just hold this for a second, Shadow, while I do this thing repetitively for 3 hours? Thanks, babe. Right? That'd be great. If I could use him as crafting assistant. And then he'd be like, Mom, I don't have thumbs. And I'm like, ooh, that might be a problem. Can you hold this? I don't have opposable thumbs. Listen, we all gotta try our best out here. But yeah, I assume that maybe within the different sizes of punch needles you can probably get like bougie sharp ones as well that are pointier and therefore easier to stab with. That's my assumption. I wonder if, like, because I know this was a paint by numbers and we are following the instructions, but I wonder if we would have been able to save our our fabric tension if we had worked inward. Like, if we had started with the outside color and then worked our way in, I wonder if that would have helped preserve. Because then if we were making any big mistakes, like learning how to make the right, like, stabbing distances, then we would have, like, worn a hole somewhere here and less so in the middle. So I think that might have, again, we can't change the past. There's no point in making should statements. We're committed. I'm just curious as to why they may have labeled from the outward in, and if there sometimes might be a purpose. Yeah, I feel like if the pink was numbered 1 and then they went in reverse from the largest thing to the smallest thing, but There's obviously, yeah. Yeah, because that's what they did. So they said, like, the instructions said to follow in the order of the labeled balls of fluff. And so number 1 was the small green leading up to 4, which was the pink. But I wonder if they would have been... Yeah, it is 4. I'm saying it might have been interesting or might have been better for us if it was number 1 instead of number 4. Yeah. The kit wanted us to do this one last, so that's why we're doing it last. But I wonder if we, you know, now knowing what we know, if going off script and starting with 4 and working our way down to 1 might have been a more effective strategy. But we will never know. Yeah. You can definitely, again though, it's not our fault. It's the canvas's fault. The tension. Though these actually don't look too bad. The tension here is a bit all over the place, but that's because we're fighting with pieces of wood at the same time. So, you know what though? Now that I'm looking at it, it is looking a little cheesier, you guys. And by cheesier, I mean looking more like the intended cheese plant. You know? It's not bad. We will make a cheese plant out of you yet. Indiscriminate leaf. Again, yeah, I never do it, do I, Kat? I'm always like, this is trash and gonna be garbage. And you're like, yeah, just do the thing and it'll be fine. And I'm like, oh yeah, guys, it was fine. Yes. You could ask that about all of my favorite crafts. You could ask that about all my favorite crafts. Who thought that stabbing bits of wool repeatedly to make little felted creations was going to happen and be a good idea? Who knows? Like kneading bread, yeah. Yeah, you have to get quite aggressive with it, eh? So it does, it does. Yeah, I channel my rage into crafts. Maybe that's why, no, because I've never been an angry person. Like, I'm the type of person that if I'm upset, I will cry before I will yell. Even if I'm angry, like, my default negative emotional reaction is crying. Doesn't look, yeah, right? It actually looks like a leaf and doesn't look like hippie John Lennon. But yeah, because I was gonna say, oh, maybe, you know, the reason I am not an angry person is because I stab crafts all the time. But I didn't take up stabby crafts until I moved here. So I don't know how that explains my inability to be angry for the first, 20 some years of my life. But that would make a good backstory. If I, had this whole story arc of the only reason England is known for split. This is true. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. This is true. Though, lately we've been taking a book out of the US and we've upped our gun violence, which is always so exciting. But, happy space, happy type of thing. Yeah, it's the, intricate details. And to be fair, that was the thing, in the medieval ages, it was considered, an admirable task, wasn't it? Ladies who could play piano and do embroidery and draw and stuff. Those were considered, marriageable qualities. Jesus. Yeah, we like variety, yeah. Really? Currently. They're currently, I guess because you live in a place that there's, conceal and carry laws. Everyone's legally allowed to... That's terrifying. I don't, people have this weird thing where it's guns make us feel safer. And I'm absolutely not. If I'm in a room with 25 people and the majority of them have one, I am leaving the room. Kudos to you, Kat. Honestly. That just sounds not safe. We've recently. It's made easier. Really? God damn it. It's not brave. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's just a fun casual law change. What a nice thing that the government's doing. Absolutely. Yep. Cool. And how many mass shootings have there been in the States already this year? Cool. Just a casual lessening of the... Yeah. She's too old to be governor. Oh, man. Somebody needs to, go back to the... It's like, it's not an option. Silly gooses. Looks at least one a day. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yep. Cool, eh? But remember, guys, it's not the guns that kill people, it's the mentally ill people. That's always the logic, eh? It's video games, it's mental illness, it's family trauma, and you're like, yeah. But there's lots of people who have those things who then don't go and do that stuff. I wonder what the difference is. Oh, one had access to the gun and one didn't. So then, right? But then they don't extend that same logic to other things. They're like, oh, drugs are bad, so we're gonna ban the drugs. And then you're like, oh, but, there's all these medicinal properties and everyone has the individual impact to make these decisions. Nope, this is bad. But this is okay. You're like, make it make sense. 64. There's an Excel spreadsheet? Wow. 64 already. Yep. So yeah, basically one a day, right? Cool. Nope. Jeez. Yeah. It's just a mess, isn't it? And it's like everyone's now, like, again, everyone's so desensitized. And it's like, that's really bad. It's this fine line when it comes to reporting stuff like that too, because I feel like, again, because it's happening so frequently and it's becoming like almost so sensationalized, people truly get desensitized to it, and it just feels like, oh yeah, that's just part of life now. And you're like, why do people think, like, no, the cognitive dissonance of just accepting something like this is wild. But people do that with a lot of things, right? It's like, oh yeah, another day, another, whatever. That's just the way life works. It was the same thing that was happening with like COVID deaths and stuff, right? Where everyone's like, oh yeah, this happened, and it's still happening. And we're like, okay, why is this normal? Why are we accepting this? Yeah. I'm like, and this is why I escape into my little crafty corner of the universe and I punch things. Yeah. And by that I mean this. So here, guys, here's another top tip and trick, when life gets overwhelming and you just feel like, what the fuck, stab something. Asterisk, in the crafting context, within the context of crafts. So needle punch, needle felt, cross stitch, knitting, crocheting, that is what I'm referring to. Do not get it twisted, do not take it out of context. That is what I mean. So yeah, when in doubt, take up a stabby craft. Just tell the asterisk. No, you leave Asterix and Obelisk out of this. Really? When your other half finishes school, would you guys, was it you had mentioned possibly about moving out of the state? Or was that not a thing? It was more just looking at places out of state and looking at all the houses just in general. Would you ever want to do that? Would you ever want to leave the state, like leave your state? I guess it makes it complicated if you have like family that you like want to be around and stuff like that, right? Yeah, you'd like to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. And that's the thing, right? Like, that's the hard thing when you have family members that aren't able to travel and stuff. Yeah. Definitely. Ugh. I think that's one of the reasons, like, it was funny because the other day, I think it was my father-in-law asked me, or he made a joke about like, oh, are you gonna whisk Liam away back to Canada one day? And I'm like, the likelihood of that is so small because one, like, let alone obviously we're established here. Two, my family is all spread out all over the place in Canada, so I don't really feel like I have like a permanent home to go back to there. And also, my parents are privileged enough that they're able to come and see us, whereas his family and our friends here have a lot going on that they don't have the capacity to do that. So, like, we're fortunate enough that I'm able to see my parents at least twice a year. But I think if it was the other way around, I don't think we would ever see Liam's family unless we were coming out to visit and not the other way around. Because it's just not an option for a lot of them. And so, again, it doesn't really make sense when we're established here to ever make that transition. Who knows? But I highly, highly doubt it. But yeah, I just thought that was... it was a funny statement. I was like, you're gonna whisk him away? I'm like, yep, gonna steal him away from you. No, I'm not. What a silly statement. And also, I happen to like it here, so... Yeah, exactly. Right? Families are fun. Okay, we've almost filled this section in, so that's cool. I feel like we're actually, completing some stuff. We're 2 hours in, though. Are we gonna get through? This might bleed into tomorrow with us starting the embroidery as well. Possibly. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll see what happens. But especially if the fabric keeps resisting me like this, it might take longer. Yeah, my some of my in-laws like some of them don't even have passports. Like some of my partner's family, Liam's family, they don't even have passports. And so it's like they would have to do that first. And that costs money. And then traveling costs money. And it's a lot. When it's something that like you're not accustomed to doing, or it's not something that is a financially viable option for you, when you really sit down and crunch the numbers, it's quite a lot. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I actually need to get mine renewed soon. So I have to figure out how to do that. I've never done that since I moved here. I don't know. There's enough, like, Canadian immigrants in the UK that I'm sure I can just go on, like, a forum and find out what I'm supposed to do. I think you have to send it to, like, the Canadian Embassy or something like that. Why is this one so much bigger than the other ones? That's what she said. But yeah. Yeah, because I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was like, oh yeah, I told your brother he has to get his shit together and renew his passport. And I was like, ooh, I better check to make sure I know when mine expires, because that... that would be awkward. Next time I try to go back to Canada, that'd be like, access denied. Do you need to have your passport to travel domestically though, Kat? Because I don't know if it's necessary, but I remember if we were traveling, the reason why like we didn't get a passport for so long, because we were only traveling within Canada, and so all you needed was a valid license. So as long as you had some kind of photo ID, it was fine. It was only really for international travel that it was needed, but I don't know if that's changed. Yeah, exactly. Out of the US, you need to have one. But if it's domestically, you can still just travel with, like, photo ID or something, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. She finished. And by that, I mean this section. One section down, but let's say 4 to go. Let's hope that this doesn't, look at this. This is getting silly. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just, oh no. Okay. Yeah, they're really crappy. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Jesus. There's only 3 places to get your license? That seems silly. Yeah, that definitely seems like some voter conspiracy shit. Like, legitimate, though. Okay. Let's now fill in this other section. Actually, you know what we should do? We should have a snack break. Let's have a granola bar break. Because it can get quite hungry repeatedly stabbing fabric. Yeah. Thank you for that, Aurora.
It's tea time.
Absolutely necessary. Jeez, that's the other thing with this craft. I feel like it's easier to be like craft, be a bit, better about my posture. But with this one, because they're basically putting pressure, I feel like I'm, yeah, craft gremlin mode has been in its true form today. She never really made it harder because you have to ooh, oh, that sounds incredible. I want some matzo sticks. Remember when we found gluten-free matzo sticks at the grocery store? I was like, this is incredible. Oh. Stretchy, stretchy, stretch, stretch. Do this one too. Just to... like this is like impacting my shoulder too. Wow. Punch needle, you are a full body workout. I feel like I got really warm and now I'm cold again. So give me a minute. I need to wrap my freezing knees back in the blankie. There we go. No, it is sweet ginger apricot peach black tea. It's again one of the ones from the Yard of Tea. It's like, yeah, it's quite a bit of a mouthful in terms of the name. Ginger, apricot, peach, black tea. But it's nice. It's cold now, but. No, Pete, you do have a date. We are all your date because we will be here next Tuesday. Maybe baking? So you have a date to hear. Mm-hmm. Yay! Oh my god, it's a whole year. It's a whole year, Nook Day. Hello, hello. Wow, that's exciting. A whole year together. What a feat, what a feat. Incredible. How are you doing? How are things? How's your cosplay creating going? I saw you post progress pics on Instagram. It's looking very nice. Right? It's mine and Nook Day's 1 year anniversary, just shy of my Twitch anniversary. How exciting. Oh yeah. How your Dremel skills? Guys, Nook Day had never used a Dremel in her life, and I popped by her stream, and she looked like a pro. Like, absolute game changer. And she's Dremeling these wings for her cosplay, and it's incredible. Those are Boston Bronze area came out bright blue. Oh no! How did that happen? That's weird. I wonder why it reacted that way. Oh, hello. Would you like to come in? Welcome in, sir. Oh, that's nice. That'll probably be nice too. Is it quieter as well? Because I know the other one was like absolutely like so obnoxious that you had to keep muting your stream every time you used it. That's cool though. No idea. Yeah, maybe. That's so weird. That sucks though. Were you able to actually get proper bronze then? You're like, excuse me, you are not the color specified. Yeah, it's a bit quieter. That's nice. That's so annoying too. You're like all ready to get to the next stage of the project and you're like, you are the wrong color. Hi, baby. That's good, yeah. How was it though when you went to spray over that blue with the bronze again? Did you have to do multiple coats? Because obviously if the blue's probably like a really dark color, did it take like multiple coats to sort of cover that up again? Because that would be annoying, because I assume the bronze is a bit of a lighter color. Or was that not a problem by the time you just put a couple coats on it? Okay, we are back in this bullshit territory here, but that's fine. If we can move this forward. No, I need to test. Oh, that's good. That's good. Aw, see, because I probably would have gone ham, and then I would have been like, wow, what to do. So you are smarter than I would have been in that situation, so that's good. That's good. That's really awesome, though. That's you got the good shit, the good quality stuff. But yeah, it's good you did a test spray. That was smart. Yeah, I don't know if I would have thought to do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I guess as soon as it would have happened, it would have been like, absolutely not. Because you do have to like continuously press on a can of paint in order for it to do a thing, so I guess it makes sense that you would have caught it. Oh, we have broken off another piece of wood. Yeah, it would have, absolutely. Yeah, did you have to spray maybe outside though? Because I had assumed that the paint fumes would have not been fun. But you're right, that would have made an excellent clip. Is it at my desk? Okay, right. Okay, so you didn't need to... That's not bad then. I hope you open some windows. You need proper ventilation for that kind of stuff. You're just like, nah, I'll work on the wild side. It's wild, but enough to know to do a test spray. Okay. Why? Get. There we go. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just wondering if maybe we could have gone in and filled some of these other sections. I think we might still do that, but we'll work on doing the full coverage thing. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, because then if you can batch do them, then yeah, you'd want to have... You don't want to have all of the pieces fuming up the joint. Hopefully the weather cooperates, that when you are ready to do that, you can just get outside and make it happen. Why is the tension on this so ridiculous suddenly? I feel like I'm putting so much elbow grease into this. Yeah, honestly, I feel like we were on the up and up in terms of the temperature, and then Mother Nature was like, nah, fam, and then they went, pew, and they dropped the temperature on us, which was rude. Oh, I'm so jelly. I'm jelly of your matzo sticks. I bet they're so good. Do you dip them in anything? Do you have like a marinara dipping sauce or anything? have a talk with Twitch. Like, I can do that. But they've colored both Kat and Aurora in the same color. And I'm like, why? That's confusing. Just use ketchup. That's fair. No. They're delicious and nice and crispy. Love it. I love that. A crispy little snacky snack. Excellent. I don't know. I feel like ketchup isn't as heathenish. I probably would have used mayo, and I feel like that's probably the heathen choice for matzo sticks. I'm just pulling bits of the frame off as they start to come apart. Like bribe the man. Yes. Do you? Yeah, it's not a thing here. And I remember the same thing back in Canada. People would order mayo with their fries, and I thought they were nuts, and I didn't understand it. Oh, that's true. If you call it aioli, right, it's fancy mayo. I'll have it with aioli. And that's so true. That's so funny. Absolutely. But yeah, people used to do that with me growing up, and I was like, I don't understand. That's so weird. Like, I would have ketchup or like nothing. It didn't matter. And then I moved, and I became such a mayo fiend. And I don't understand. Yeah. Oh, you don't have an air fryer. It's true. They are quite bulky. If you don't have like storage underneath. You made them order one for work. That's so funny. I love it. I feel like you are always in charge of like making the good snacks happen at work, Kat. Because didn't you order like the epic treats for like for work one time? You got the air fryer. You are just getting all the good goods. I love it. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the key thing. Like, unless you, one, have counter space to leave it out all the time, which I think a lot of people probably don't. Because I know for us, like, our cabinet or our countertop space is quite limited. And so we can't have massive appliances taking up all the space. So then it becomes difficult to have some big appliances if you don't have anywhere to store them afterwards. So I get that for sure. I think we're just gonna keep that down here. Yeah, it is. You're in charge of the Staples website ordering. That's incredible. I feel like you are responsible for keeping morale high in the office. That seems like what you're doing. You order yourself the best pens. I love that. But yeah, I'm convinced, Kat, that you are responsible for keeping morale high in the office because you order all the good goods. Okay. Oh, damn. That's fine. That's there. And then we can go over here. Yeah, sort of like there. Ooh, this is where we pick up again. Okay. Okie dokie. My thumb is starting to hurt. Guys, if you want to become really good, like strong, a strong thumb wrestler, take up needle punch. Because my thumb is sore, and I bet I'm building like superior thumb muscles right now. I'm not saying I would have the coordination to win thumb battles or thumb wars, but I will now have the strength after repeatedly punching this canvas. Look at all the transferable skills, you know? You always got to think that way. What are the transferable skills of me doing this? Thumb war champion. From needle puncher. Punch needler. Clearly not strong enough. What the fuck? There we go. It's fine. I have been doing really, really well to resist the urge to yell, "get in the hole," every time I struggle to punch through. Because I'm trying really, really hard, you guys, to not constantly have this stream be dripping in innuendo. But it's been tough. I'm not gonna lie. I have been working diligently to not be a stream full of it's been a struggle. The amount of "that's what she said" jokes that I've been keeping on lock, keeping on the DL for my own, you know, for everyone's sake. It's been a lot. So every time you see, you can just mentally imagine that's what I'm yelling in my head when the needle punch is not going through the canvas right away and I'm grunting to make it happen. That's what's going on in my brain. Right, what's our timestamp? Okay, so I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and assume we're not finishing this today. We have what, like 40 minutes? We will finish by the end of the week. I will be damned if we don't finish this by the end of the week. So tomorrow we'll probably be doing the finishing touches. And then we'll start the final kit. Again, I don't know if you guys have realized this about me by now, but I am infamously bad at predicting the timeline of how long these things are going to take. Every time I enter into things optimistically and think, this won't take very long, and then it takes 3 times longer than we think it will. So anytime I tell you guys we're probably going to finish this today, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Truly. Maybe, yeah. We have... Ow. It's cool. It's true. I wish I could just get in like a blind rage, like blind punch mode. I'm just checking to make sure I didn't give myself a splinter. No, I did peel off more of this frame though. That's the other thing. I feel like we're working with a plethora of hazards right now. I wish I could, like, you know when you have those, like, I don't know, I wish I could, like, do Super Saiyan mode, but, like, for needle punch, or for punch needling. And then I could just, like, aggressively be like, "Brrr!" And then, like, that, like, better than that. Because if we keep hitting resistance like this, I would love to enter punch needle Super Saiyan mode anytime now. Yeah. Oh, I want one. That's the thing. I am sure that's what we were talking about before, where I'm like, there must be those electric ones. They probably would help move this shit along instead of me doing this archaic old school method. I encourage you all, though, to attempt this craft at least once in your life. Because it is, in theory, it's quite ridiculous. Ugh. And like I said, your thumb will get swole from the workout. Trying to think of what other crafts elicit such strong physicality. The only other thing I could think of is maybe when you're quilting and you have made like a king size quilt and you're sewing the binding on it and you have to be moving an entire king size quilt around your machine. That's gonna be an upper body workout. But I'm not sure of any other crafts that require such intense upper body strength as punch needling does, at least in this instance. I think it's this one. This one here is the one I keep accidentally slamming my knuckle into. Oh, I saw that. I did see that. And she was like, basically she's talking about how she's playing like a warlord or something, or like she's playing somebody in the Last of Us series. And they're like, but shouldn't she be buff? And she's like, I'm a mastermind. I'm supposed to be smart. The buffness comes from your lackeys. You know? She looks awesome in it. But yes, I did see that comment. And she was like, that doesn't make sense for a character who's meant to just be an intelligent mastermind to be buff. That seems unnecessary. Oh, that's true. Yeah, working with leather. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think anything that requires thick fabric that you're having to like push blunt force needles and stuff through, absolutely, I would say that as well. Yeah, needle punching, maybe metal punching as well. Like sometimes people do that embossing stuff. That would require some upper body strength. Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing. She just looks like a normal human being in terms of her body shape. There's nothing. She's like, yeah, no, she looks awesome and she's such a delight. Yeah, I think I remember seeing something because she was in, wasn't it, she was the best friend in Save the Last Dance and she got like made fun of or something like that, or she got like typecast for her role and stuff. No, it's true, absolutely. Yeah, I've not watched it, but again, everyone I see, like, has just been praising it. It was, I know it was. In this instance, though, it's appropriate. I think we have such a warped sense of like, yeah, definitely. We have such a warped sense, and I find myself the same way. Like when I see people, like people walking up and down our street, and I see them wearing uniforms, so I assume they're in secondary school, but I'm like, I have no idea how old you are. You could be like 14, you could be 20, like I literally don't know. And I wonder too, and I think I've watched like a video essay about this, because a lot of teen shows that like have people playing teenagers, they have like 20-year-olds playing teenagers, and that really sort of, even though you logically know, okay, this is a 20-year-old playing a 16-year-old, it like messes with your brain because you're like, okay, teenagers look older, and it's like, no, that's not what a real teenager looks like. Adults get cast in teenage roles because teenage shows are meant to be like salacious and sexual and whatever, and we can't have teenagers for realsies doing that, so we need to cast adults. But then you have like teenagers that are like, oh, this is a teenager and I need to be acting like this. Yeah, exactly. So Bella, like, she is 19 and she looks a lot younger, but I think too she looks like a teenager, whereas some of them, like, you look like an adult. And it's this weird like mental mindfuck, and I think then that's when this shit happens, where people excuse it, where it's like, oh well, all of the female characters that I engage with in my media need to be attractive. And it's like, yeah, but you forget that this is a literal child. So like there's no, in fact, it's weird that, like you said, it's weird you want them to be attractive. Why can't you have children in your media actually be children? And it's weird, and I don't understand why. Yeah. Well, have you seen the discourse and the comparisons going around about Leonardo DiCaprio and his new girlfriend? And to put it into context, they were like, the actress who plays Ellie and Pedro Pascal are the same distance age-wise that Leonardo DiCaprio and his apparent new girlfriend are, and they play father and daughter in a TV show. So yeah. I don't know. I feel like Leo has fallen from grace. Yeah, good plan, Cat. Yeah, right. Let me get real aggro about the fact that just because somebody is above the age of consent doesn't mean that it's not any less weird or creepy for you to sexualize somebody when you are that much older than them. It is. It's true. There's no nuance about power imbalances and stuff. And I'm like, it's not okay. I think that's the thing, because again, too, because like I said, I went through this Pretty Little Liars rewatch unhinged binge thing, right? And of course, one of the main ships and plot points of that show was the Arya Ezra plot line. And I remember even when I watched it a bit and how romanticized that was. And it's like, yeah, because the actors look like they're the same age, so it seems excusable when the relationship is a total predatory mess. And actually, if that was happening IRL, Ezra should be in jail. But the show has created this thing where it actually has us rooting for a crime being committed constantly. And that was just the 2000s just being like, yeah, no, this is fine. And then everyone wonders why we have fucked up, like, perceptions of age and, you know, things like that and stuff. Yeah. No, exactly. It's true. But even that one too, right? So even like both of the situations, like Leo and his, you know, literally just out of high school girlfriends as a 50-year-old conversation, he's been doing this for years. That situation happened and everyone jumped down that woman's throat about what she did. And it's like both are wrong, but you can also see the misogynistic dichotomy of how this older woman who got with a younger man is villainized so ridiculously, whereas Leo is like, it's just Leo. It's just Leo being Leo. And it's like, no, both are wrong. So it's interesting how misogyny can rear its head even in situations where both instances are not okay. Though I saw something that initiated that, like, Taylor Johnson actually pursued her. But again, power imbalance, weird stuff, right? I think they met on a set where, like, she was directing. So I would assume from an actor-director standpoint, that's like a power imbalance, right? Because the director, at least to a certain impact, I would assume has some power over your career, right? So I don't know. But yeah, it's interesting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, even more fucked up. Because isn't there's always that, like, rule. Have you guys ever heard of the rule half your age plus 7? So that's sort of like the universal thing people used to say, where it's like, you know, if you're judging how old or how young you could date, that, again, legality aside, because again, age of consent laws, whatever, but from a, you are a fucked up person who is, you know, power hungry and wants to control somebody. Because that's the thing, right? It's like, not being funny, but it's like, if you are an older person and you are pursuing younger people, that's because people your own age think you're a loser and a piece of shit, right? And younger people whose prefrontal cortexes are not fully developed see an older person hitting on them or talking to them, and they think, wow, they must think I'm so mature for my age. And that's not what it is. It's that they are immature for their age, not the other way around. You are not acting older than you are. They are regressing. That's the difference. I love that I walked into this. Yes, welcome to my soapbox to Riled and Trails. Yes, this is... Kat and Aurora are trying to get me riled and thinking that it'll give me Super Saiyan punch needling energy, but now I'm getting so aggro that I have to stop what I'm doing. That's what's happening. Yeah, I'm on dating sites. Yeah, exactly, right? That's what I feel. I'm like, I don't know what I would have in common with a 20-year-old. Jesus. Yeah, definitely. Oh, MILF Manor. Watch. I've heard of MILF Manor. I've heard of it. Yeah. Been zoning in and out if I'm trying to figure out what's being spoke about. I'm basically to summarize, Leonardo DiCaprio is a predatory piece of shit. That is the summary. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've heard of MILF Manor. I've never watched it. I don't watch a lot of reality TV. I think just because I find it so ridiculous. But I wonder how that show is doing. Any thoughts? Have you watched Defiled Entrails? What's your take on this situation? No one asked. Yeah. 100%, exactly. But that's the thing, right? And so even too, right? Like, theoretically, if we were following the rule of half your age plus 7, right? So let's do the maths, theoretically, right? But a lot of times people don't end up doing that. So let's say, okay, 36 divided by 2 plus 7. Yeah, so you could technically, it says, you know, from a moral standpoint, 25 should be the limit. But again, as somebody who's in their mid-30s versus somebody in their mid-20s, I feel like the world is totally different. Even me, who's just turned 30, me in my mid-20s was an absolute mess by comparison. And my priorities are completely different now than what I was then. So I think sometimes it can happen, but like, I don't know, man. I think usually 9 times out of 10, this is now my hot take. I am now just realizing it because I, again, also too have dated people that are much older than me. What it is it's that the younger person is not the mature one in this situation. The older one is regressed to the age of the younger person. It's never the other way around. That is now what I'm thinking. Yes. All right. Oh, are you watching The Hills? Oh my god, that's so funny. I never watched it, but because I existed in the 2000s, I am aware of it. When I was 33, my cat. Yeah. Definitely. I think the other thing too that also makes it weird for me is I have a little brother. My brother is only a year younger than me, but because he's my little brother, if I were to date somebody younger than him, that would be weird because then they're younger than my little brother. That would be weird. There are a lot of broken people out there who need. Yeah, absolutely. The mentally something. Exactly. No, it's true. Absolutely. I'm a firm advocate that everybody should try therapy at least once. And I mean like good therapy, because I know that there's probably very shitty therapists out there, but everyone just needs to like unpack themselves a little bit. Do some soul searching, do some digging, figure out what their priorities are in life, what they're into, what they're not, you know? As someone who's been in and out of therapy since they were like 7, and I learn something new every time I go in there, so recommend. Dated for when I was in. Yeah, exactly. And again, like, it's very rare, but it's strange. It usually ends up being younger girls and older men. And there is some weird power imbalance control stuff going on in that. Definitely. MILF Manor is amazing because everyone's a train wreck. That's the other thing too. I think that's why sometimes you watch cringy reality TV, because then you take a step back and you're like, wow, at least my life isn't as unhinged as these people. And I know a lot of it's like overinflated and, you know, dramatic and stuff, but you're like, you know, I thought I was a bit unhinged, but I'm not this unhinged. Pat myself on the back, you know? Yeah, not thinking you need therapy is a clear sign that you need it. 100%. I believe that. If people are like, nah, especially if people are firm believers against therapy, I'm like, ooh, you have a hard time opening up to people. You have built really thick walls around you to protect yourself from being emotionally vulnerable. That sounds like something you need to sort out in therapy. Yeah, is MILF Manor on Netflix, Entrails? I think I saw an advert for it, but I didn't know on which one. Oh, I'm unhinged for sure. Yeah, right? I think the other thing too, right, is I think you're right. In order to be a comedian, there is a certain level of unhingedness that needs to happen. But I also think too, you can probably do a lot of comedy based. Oh, it's TLC. That makes sense. TLC has graced us with some train wrecks for sure. For sure. Yeah. That's the other thing that sucks, is the availability and the affordability of therapy. That's the other problem too, right? There's people who either don't think they need it and they absolutely do, or people that are like, I would love some coping strategies to handle my life, please. And then they go, sorry, you can't afford to be mentally healthy. And it's like, what? Oh, okay, I didn't know that we put a price tag on sanity. That's also some bullshit. Because it's either you can't afford it or you gotta wait for so long, and by that time, who knows what happens. That was always some bullshit that happened to me as well. I remember when I was in school and I was having not a good time, and I was like, I'm gonna be proactive before shit gets bad, and I'm gonna refer myself to get a therapist. And they were like, okay, cool, but there's a wait list for like 6 months. And I'm like, okay, but I need help now. I might get worse in 6 months. And they're like, yeah, but you're not bad now, so it's fine. And I used to say that, and I talk about this with my family all the time, where we always joke, because we have dark senses of humor, where we're like, oh, okay, so we have to make active threats against our lives, so we have to be reactive. That's a problem with a lot of healthcare. Guys, I'm sorry, we're not getting this shit done. I'm on my soapbox. But the problem with a lot of healthcare, mental and physical healthcare, is it's reactive, right? It's a band-aid solution, and pre-activity isn't worth it because there aren't the resources, right? The budgets for, health, physical and mental are so overstretched that it makes it really difficult for them to do anything but band-aid react. So you want to try to take care of yourself and be proactive. I sense this getting bad. I would like to do this. And they go, we don't have the budget for that. Wait until you're about to do something harmful to yourself or others and then come back to us. And you're like, why do I have to wait until it gets that bad? Because the resources aren't there. And that's what's bullshit. Okay. There's no way to be a comedian without therapy except to make horrible observations about people and be able to, yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. And to be fair, I think that's a really good take because I'm sure there are plenty of comedians out there, entrails, that have not gone to therapy and are actively processing their trauma through their comedy, which is fine. But then I think you need to be able to take a step back and, like you said, separate yourself from the material and have it not be like, this is me, the comedian, and you bring from your past. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have so much unhinged shit from my past I could talk about, but hindsight's 20/20 and I can separate from it, right? I can make jokes about the dumb shit I did in my 20s, but I am no longer that person, so it makes it easier. You know what I mean? Instead of, like, wallowing in it. See, BetterHelp advertising fun. Yeah. Is it really $200? I've never known. I've, again, never explored BetterHelp. I've heard mixed reviews about it, but I didn't realize it was that expensive. So that's shitty because they've marketed it as something that's an alternative that makes it cheaper than accessing other therapies. And it wasn't an overshare. It's all good. I appreciate that. And yes, I believe it should be funded by the government. I was referred to a counselor. I have a depression called about a week after my dad and said it probably wasn't a good time to talk. That's weird. Yeah, that's really dumb. That sounds, again, like a bad therapist. Oh, I just want to say, yeah. Did we all do that? Yeah, right? Because, like I said, we are expected. So let me see. Okay. Again, age of consent laws. Guys, this is fucking going off the rails. Okay. Entrails, I feel the same thing. I turned 30 and I was like, shit, I feel the most together that I have in my entire life. And I love aging because every year I feel I get a little bit less of the unhinged, unregulated part of myself. And I become more confident, more, stable in myself. And that's great. I'll have the achy bones and the aging and the wrinkles and the whatever. I will have all of that shit if I can be mentally stable. Absolutely. We are older than Google. That's so funny. That's true. That's true. But yes. But yeah, the reason, Kat, that we all did dumb shit in our 20s is because we were expected to be adults at 18 without having a fully developed prefrontal cortex, and the prefrontal cortex is in charge of decision-making and emotional regulation. So we were all just flailing about expecting to be adults without having a fully developed brain to do so. And that is why we all did fucked up shit in our 20s. Are we having fun, guys? Are we having fun? Tasha's going on a rant. We've just snowballed rant after rant. How we doing? Checking in. How's everyone feeling? It's true, we are older than Google. Guys, do you remember Ask Jeeves? Do you remember Ask Jeeves? And how Ask Jeeves, Jeeves knew nothing. You would ask him questions and he would never deliver the right answers. Like I did when I turned 30, I feel like I was grabbing myself. Yeah, right? Yeah. That's the thing. When you turn 30, you got to get rid of baggage. And even if baggage is in the form of actual human beings. Oh, Shadow's concerned. He's like, Mom, you yelling. Why are you yelling, Mom? I don't know, Shadow. Why am I yelling? He's like, I'm not sure. The knowledge you have in 30. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. 100% defiled on trials. I would not change getting older for anything. This has been the best sometimes. It's true. Sometimes we need to just let it out. Remember flip phones, dude? Did you remember slide phones? I had one of those slide phones that had the whole keypad, and I thought I was the coolest person in the world. I did. It was great. And flip phones. And that was the thing, too. Flip phones are awesome because then when you were really angry, you could close them with gusto and be like, bitch. You can't end an angry phone call on a touch phone. It's not nearly as satisfying to then smack a flip phone closed. I tried BetterHelp after losing my dad using credit. Got paired with a therapist in America. Oh, the time zones. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And that's the other thing too, right? Because some people, because I think the last therapy sessions I did were over the phone and we had the option to do video or whatever, but like it was fine and I found it was okay. But again, it depends on the vibe. It depends on your comfort level. It depends on, again, your ability to focus during things. If you're in your own house, sometimes there's lots of distractions and you might not be able to focus on the actual therapy. So going to a place and being in an in-person environment is helpful. But for other people, going to an in-person environment is too anxiety inducing and home is a comfort, and then that makes it easier, right? So I do like, if the pandemic has done one thing that's been helpful, it's provided alternative options for how to access therapy. Mind you, there aren't enough therapists / good therapists and affordable therapy, but the option to do in-person / video / is good. I'm old. Do you remember the stupid little Yes! And then everyone told us years later that it was apparently a virus. Yeah, do you remember the purple monkey? You could. I didn't know his name was Bonsai Buddy. And then he sang the Bicycle Built for Two song. I'm so old with my roller it thing. Just scum. Just pleb. Just puddle of emotion on the floor. Another way to get your legs around, touch phone. Yeah. It's true. Another way to warm me up is to get me absolutely riled about stuff. Touch phone. It's true. You just throw it. That's one way to end a conversation. You also had to throw it. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, it's kind of hard to focus. That's like one time I think I was trying to have a therapy call and Shadow had stepped in poop. No, I was late for the therapy call. So I meant to call him, and then Shadow accidentally stepped in his own poop, and I was chasing him around the house trying to clean the poop off his paw, and I completely forgot that I had a therapy appointment. So then I called back being like, I'm so sorry, my dog had poop on his foot and I was chasing him around the house and that's why I missed therapy and I'm sorry, I suck. And she just laughed. She was like, it's fine. Don't you worry about it. Oh, so funny. I went to school therapist and dropped out to be a bartender. Oh, did you? Yeah, I went to school to, to be fair, I went to school and then went to school again. Because I hadn't got enough, and then was like, I'm too emotionally vulnerable for this kind of thing. So I think that's why I speak very passionately about this, because I was inundated in the social work atmosphere for 5 years of my life. So this discourse and this socio-political commentary on life and all things and the connectedness of the world, I wrote essays on this kind of shit. So when this happens, this is me channeling 5 years of academia into this moment. I like that though. Dropped out to be a bartender. Hey man. To be fair, I feel like bartenders and hairdressers are also kind of like pseudo-therapists. People tell you your problems. And also, to be fair, I bet going to school to be a therapist and dropping out to be a bartender actually probably helped you become a better bartender. Truly. My favorite commercial ever is the one that a guy throws his phone for crime deterrent. What? I've never seen that before. That sounds wild. You have one of those phones that sit open too? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I guess so. You could probably be seen as an enabler, but also... Man, people got vices, and I know sometimes it's problematic. And there's coping strategies and there's maladaptive coping strategies. There's a bunch of people going on that are like high-functioning addicts. And honestly... if you're not hurting anyone, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. But I do hope that people, are able to access things that don't cause them potentially irreversible physical harm. And that's nice. I just want everyone to, be happy and joyful and wonderful. Started school for IT, got addicted to WoW, quit going to class, been working crappy jobs ever since. Kat, you're such a legend. What a legend. You're like, guys, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, though, and that's the other thing, too, right? I think as well, the older you get, the more you realize that, people take all sorts of interesting pathways in life to get where they are. And, things don't always work out the way you want them to or work out the way you think they would be. And it's fine, It's okay. I blame WoW and Jeremy. Jeremy, you piece of shit. I did interactive media and web design in college. And that's cool, though. Yeah, but also things like doing upholstery and, there's certain jobs that you don't need an education for. And some jobs that even say you should get an education, I think in some instances you don't necessarily need to. Sometimes it helps. I remember somebody telling me that, sometimes, because I was like, oh, I went to university and I'm not using my degree, that sucks. but also it's like, I think my parents put it into perspective where it's like, no, it actually shows that you're able to commit to something for an extended period of time and are able to study and do, you know, things like that. So even though you're not actively using those skills, you still, you know, passed classes and wrote essays and obviously have the competency to do shit like that. And I'm like, that's a nice way to recontextualize it. He met Chris when I was in middle school. He sold the bait we would buy on the way to the lake. Oh, that's really cute. You did so much IT in school. Yeah. Do you guys remember that? Because I feel like when we were growing up and going through elementary school, that's when like computers and having access to computers in the home was becoming a big deal, and we had computer classes. But we only had like 1 year, and even then it was like 1 year every couple of months we had a computer class, and we just played like Pick Kids, which was like kind of like an interactive paint. And we just did that for a couple hours every few months, and that was computer class. We were like, we're learning so much. Elden Ring took over my life. I feel like there's certain games that just really get a chokehold on people, don't they? I did IT club, and then I took double IT in computing. Wow. Check you out, you big nerd, Nungday. My girlfriend asked me if I liked it more than her, and I said yes. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, man. What a serve. Elden Ring was just giving you something that she couldn't, you know? Who knows what that was, but that's quite a serve, though. Elden Ring doesn't yell at me. Elden Ring. I don't know. Yeah, it's true. I think even too, like, because Liam works in IT, and he said a lot of the courses he took at university are completely outdated now. It's like the technology has advanced so far. I think he learned certain coding languages. Those coding languages aren't really, like, used as much anymore. So yeah, it's interesting. That's the thing with technology, is there's such a quick turnaround that the shit you learn in your, like, 4-year degree, I think you could start like an IT degree, and between your first year and your 4th year, so much technological advancement could happen. I could see that being really difficult to keep up with, for sure. Ugh. I was going into medical coding, but I know a lot of hospitals were going more digital, and you don't really need as many medical coders once you do that. Oh, interesting. I didn't even know medical coding was a thing. What is it even? That sounds interesting. What does a medical coder do? That kind of sounds like high tech and shit. Is that like where they make files and they put, like, I don't know, codes for specific ailments and shit in the files? They'll go through your bill and make sure. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, and I guess if they do digital, does that mean that stuff... Yeah, there's not as many people that need to go through it. Oh, that's a shame. Yeah. You just need somebody to monitor the digital system. That's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting how jobs evolve, where it's like certain technological advancements will make some jobs obsolete, but then it also will bring new jobs because you need people to monitor the digital stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, my mom was a nurse as well. My job wants the bartenders to Could you not, like, play it, like, super, super deadpan? You know, like... Or you gotta, like, do it so exaggerated and ridiculous, like, happy birthday to you, na 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 na, hey! You know, like, just put on, like, a dumb voice. You know? Oh, no, it's not an option? Damn. Wow. Why do the bartenders have to sing? Usually that's only reserved for like waiters and waitresses. They gonna make you wear silly hats too? Happy birthday, this song sucks, Wu-Tang forever, kiddo. Yeah, well, you weren't supposed to change the words to the song. Or you could just say blah 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 blah. I appreciate the Wu-Tang you put in there though. I feel like that's... Bob just sent me a oh, interesting. Random. Is it like finance person appreciation time? Tash is slowly descending into madness. But in a good way? Question mark? Yeah. Okay, carry on. Pat's like, welfare check? Oh, you're good? Okay, keep going. Yeah. That's true. You're like, I just want to be the bartender in a dive bar that has locals and I just serve them scotch on the rocks and beers and don't worry about it. You know, I respect that. There's different types of bartenders, you know? And you know your lane and you were like, this is my niche. I have specialized. I don't want to ask. Yeah, I think this was my mom. Oh, maybe. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, honestly though, I feel like Entrails, you have, like, there's different bartender specializations, you know? There's like your flary bartenders and your singing bartenders, and there's your grumpy dive bar bartenders. You know what I mean? And I feel like you've specialized, and that's fine. Required, yeah, that is interesting. If I had a bartender sing happy birthday to me, I'd feel so uncomfortable. Truly. Truly. It would be cringe and painful for all parties involved. Like, I don't know you. It's true. It's true. Have you ever gotten the happy birthday song at a restaurant, Ningday? It's an interesting time. Oh no, why are these popping out? I don't understand. Hi, Bubs. How you doing? And you're like, Mom, it's 6 o'clock. I know. Oh, hello. Hi. How you doing? Hello. Yeah, what's up? Not that you can remember anyway. Yeah? Hello. Can I finish punching just like a little bit more? Just like a wee bit more. Is that okay? I know you want my granola bar, but it's chocolate, so you can't have it. I know. Such bullshit, eh? But it's bad for you. It's not for doggies. Hi, Shadow. Shadow says hi. Look, everyone's saying hi to you. You're so popular. He's like, I don't care. Yeah. Okay. Let me just fix what I'm doing, Shadow. Yeah? We're almost done. Watch. You're gonna hear him be the most dramatic. Yeah? Just dial up all the drama. Turn the sass up to 11. Yeah. No, we don't. Maybe we'll do that. The only thing is, again, he spends the majority of time not on stream. And so I feel like that wouldn't work because I'd have all these redeems and he just wouldn't be here to receive them. I don't actually have anything up here. But maybe we'll do that. Well, he'll have his own tea party items. Whatchamacallit. He'll have his own tea party set on the thing. Okay, what about give Tash a treat redeem? Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's an option. I haven't, to be fair, I don't reach into my, my treat stash as often anymore. Oh, can you do that? Can I get like a shadow equivalent and we can give him pets? So it's safe to say, guys, we did not finish. Look at him pouting. Yeah? You being dramatic. Hello. Ha 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 ha. No, I don't know. You know what it is? It's because I'm being efficient and I'm eating granola bars instead of just pure sugar. So if anything, it's because I've evolved into a better human being. Just kidding. Food doesn't equate good or bad. I think it's called Pando. Oh, okay, I'll have to look that up. Pando stream pet. Cool. Okay, does anybody have any raid suggestions? Shadow, do you have any raid suggestions? He's like, no, I don't. You guys, I do not. Let's go see which of our friends is currently online. And then, I guess, tomorrow, I swear to God, you guys, if we don't finish this punch needle kit, I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, we have to find the sweet spot where Tasha gets riled up enough that it gives her Super Saiyan punch needling strength, but not so much that I then get so aggro that I have to stop punch needling to sit on my soapbox and rant. We gotta find that balance, guys. We need to strike a balance, because the balance has not been struck. Okay, who's online? Oh, Hobbit's online, playing The Witcher 3... Queen Bee Crafting, Lolly. Makerbug's online. Ooh, she's making 90s felt creations. Should we go see Makerbug, Shadow? He's like, I don't want to see anyone. Eh? He's like, fucking bye. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's go and see. Let's go see Makerbug. She's making the cutest little like 90s themed felt treat. She made a freaking Pop-Tart. It's the cutest freaking thing in the world. It is, Shadow. I promise you, it's very cute. Yeah, thanks for this. Thank you for stopping by and indulging in my rants. I will see you guys soon. Like I said, we'll be back here tomorrow. We'll be downstairs though. And you know, continuing to punch. Here we go. Let me copy my own raid message. Oh, always. I'm usually asleep. Yeah, no problem, dude. Hey, if the first thing you see when you wake up is me screaming and ranting about something, maybe that's a good way to start your day. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Yes, hello.